Hello and welcome to another episode of Swim Sets by the Pool. This is the podcast where you get free swim workouts and tips on how to swim better. My name is Nathan Cohen. I'm a professional triathlete, and with me is a special guest this week, Thomas. He is my swim training partner. You may have seen him in some of our short videos on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. But Thomas is a former high school and collegiate swimmer. And Thomas, tell us, how are you doing?
Pretty good. I think this has been a long time in the coming.
Yeah.
Nate's always been talking about getting me on the podcast, so it's finally happened.
It is. I'm excited. In this episode today, if you clicked on it, you probably saw we are going through an AI swim workout. We asked ChatGPT to write us a swim workout, and we're going to dive into that topic of, is AI coaching there yet? So stay tuned to find out. But this is something me and Thomas have talked about for months now. So it's gonna be interesting to dive into. Are you excited?
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas to discuss with this one.
Yeah, it might go in a lot of different directions, so stick around and find out. But I just want to say huge thanks to Blank Sports Nutrition for sponsoring this podcast. They're an awesome company. They make a lot of different stuff. I use their hydration mix and their hydro gel when I train. It's great stuff. You can customize it to your preferences. So you can add more flavor, less flavor. You can change the flavor. You can mix flavors. You can add sodium, add caffeine. And it's just a super cool company. It's made by pro athletes, for athletes, and it's great stuff. So check out Blank's Swim Sets 10 for 10% off your order. All that will be linked in the show notes below. But anyways, so let's get into it. So Thomas has a tip for us to start off the episode. The guest always gives a tip. And what's your tip for us today, Thomas?
My tip is always swim with a friend.
That's a great tip.
Especially if your friend's Nate.
Yeah. How does swimming with other people help you swim?
I get really motivated. I'm competitive.
Yeah, you are.
I don't want to fall behind.
Yeah.
I want to race.
Yeah.
It really motivates me. I'll kill myself to win.
Dude, especially on the last rep of a set, Thomas somehow always pulls it out of the bag. That last rep, he just finds something deep within himself to just beat me to the wall, and it's so annoying. But I love it. It's great. We push each other, and I think it's really valuable. So yeah, that's a great tip. Today's set, like we said, we had ChatGPT write us a swim workout, and this is the prompt. Very simple. I was like, write a swim workout for a pro triathlete who swims in a 25-yard pool and is training for sprint, Olympic, and 70.3 triathlons. And this is for a lot of people. A lot of people do a combo of those races. People are doing 70.3s. Maybe you're doing your local Olympic or sprint tri. And here is what ChatGPT said. They said, here's a 4,000-yard workout. The goal is to build speed, strength, and endurance. Focus on threshold plus race-specific pacing plus strong mechanics under fatigue. And then here's the warm-up. 800 yards, 400 swim, freestyle, relax, smooth, in parentheses, 4x50 drill, 10 seconds rest. It says catch up, zipper, fingertip drag, and fist swim. So it actually gave 4 drills. Pretty interesting. And then 450s build to fast on 10 seconds rest. And then it says in parentheses, each 50 gets faster. That's what build means. And then 100 kick with a board, mixed dolphin and flutter kick. So that's 800 yards. Thomas, what do you think of the swim warm-up?
It sounds familiar to what we usually do.
Yeah, we do something pretty similar.
Yeah, it's a really solid warm-up.
Yeah.
Not much to say about it.
Yeah. Is there anything you would change about that, or do you feel like that's pretty good?
I kind of like doing variables more than 450s build. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do differently.
Yeah, that sounds good. Variables are great because you really get to work on different paces, whereas I've kind of joked with some people before. It's build could also just be 3 strokes fast at the end. Yeah, you just swim easy, and then as long as you do 3 strokes fast, and then you technically built. So yeah, I typically don't do 50s build that frequently just for that reason. And I think that's a good shout, Thomas. Variables are a lot more focused and stuff. What kind of variables do you do? What's your typical flow for that?
We usually do the 425s, the easy to fast, fast to easy, all easy, then all fast. And that's an enjoyable, that gets me warmed up.
Yeah, that's a classic one. And yeah, I'm just writing that down. And also for the drill, I feel like 800, if you don't have a lot of time, that's good. And like this would be a good warm up for a lot of people. But for a pro triathlete or even just like a more experienced swimmer or someone who just has like more time, it's summer, maybe you have a little extra time to swim. I like, I would like to see 4 100s where it's maybe 25 drill, 25 swim. And the drills are fine. I think what's zipper drill though? Is that where you like,
I think that's when maybe that's the fingertip drag.
no, fingertip drag is different. So like I feel that's where you like
maybe,
drag your
you're
thumb
dragging
against your side.
Yeah, that could
I
be
think that's
it.
what zipper is. I don't know. I didn't swim as a kid, so
It's one of those things where it's just pulling from the internet, and it's like, oh, this is what this person calls
like
it.
somebody said zipper. Yeah. It doesn't really know why it's saying it. So that would be my one change to the warm up, and then that would make the warm up 1,000 yards, which I think is like a pretty good warm up. And I think for a lot of my athletes who I coach as well, it's nice to do 1,000-yard warm up because if that's like your baseline, when you go into like a triathlon and stuff, you're like, oh, like 1,000 yards, like that's just what I warm up. Like that's not a big deal. So that's like longer than a sprint distance try. An Olympic distance is just a little bit longer than that. So, and it's more than half of a 70.3. So yeah, I think that's a great warm up. And then 100 kick at the board. That's cool too at the end.
Social kick.
Yeah, a little social kick. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then what's this preset, Thomas? What do you think of that?
Preset looks pretty good. 6 100s pulling. Yeah, I'll get you warmed up. Yeah. I don't know if I like pulling that early in the set.
Interesting.
I would probably push that later. With like pulling, I like doing pulling at the end because you can get more out of your workout. You're a little like fatigued, and that pulling gets you more yardage.
Yeah.
So I'd just put that at the end.
Okay, that's actually a good shot. Yeah, put the 6 100s pull at the end. Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, some people really like pulling in warm up. I'm not a huge fan, especially with paddles and stuff. And it says moderate tempo. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you do the variables and stuff and it's 1,000 yards warm up, I feel like that's enough for a lot of people. Like that's pretty solid. And it's also good too because 1,000 yards, it's not short, but it's also not too long. So it's good to not always do like the same warm up, like if you warm up typically just like a couple hundred, like a lot of people just jump in, they swim a couple hundred and they get right into it. This will like be a little bit longer for you, but also if you're a more experienced swimmer and used to like 2K warm-ups or like 2.5K warm-ups, like some like college or club swimmers, 1,000 will be like, oh, like I really got to do this. Like I really got to make the most of it and get warm. So yeah, let's put that 6 100s pull at the end. I like that. That's a good shout. And then the main set, 2,400 yards. Threshold set. This is AI. This is all the intelligence, all the scouring of the internet came up with this main set, and it's 10 100s threshold, which we've talked about this so much on the pod. It's like they literally just looked at like whatever anyone's triathlon coach does. They're just like, oh, just do 10 100s threshold, and it's like that's cool, I guess. I mean. But I feel like, and it said later, it's like, oh, you should do this set like 3 times a month. And it's like, man, I wonder how many people just do 10 100s like every single week.
Yeah, that's what I do when I swim by myself. It's just like, oh, I'll just swim 10 100s. That's like my whole workout. We're good. It gets you to where you need to be, I guess, in a swim workout.
Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I mean, it's not bad. Like if you do 10 100s threshold, and if you're not sure what threshold is, it's kind of like that 7 to 8 out of 10 effort. It's hard, but it doesn't feel like a sprint type effort. And it's something you can hold for like over 1,000 yards. So, I mean, I would say, so let's go into the second part of the main set. So then there's 800 yards where it's 850s fast on 20 seconds rest. And it says focus on race pace or faster. And Yeah, then it says all out efforts from a push, maintain perfect form. I think that's good. It's a good cue to focus on perfect form, but I feel like it's also hard to focus on perfect form if you're doing an all out effort. Would you say so?
Yeah, you're sacrificing form for speed.
Yeah, so that kind of is a little contradictory right there. Because sometimes I tell my athletes, I'm like, just swim fast. Like, don't think about form. Just try and move as much water as you possibly can. And then other times I'm like, swim at 90%. So really fast, but save that extra little percent of focus for your technique. And it's those little nuances that I feel like AI just doesn't quite get
The
yet,
actual coaching.
like the actual coaching. Yeah. Like AI can write a workout and it'll tell you what to do, but like the actual coaching. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't need an AI to tell me to swim 10 100s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you're like, oh, I just don't know what to swim today, I'm going to ask this. And it gives you 10 100s. Like, oh, I could have just done that.
Yeah.
So then you just wasted time. You could have done 12 100s because you weren't spending time typing it into the computer. But yeah, that's interesting because it really is that like personal side of coaching. Like the coach knows you, the coach knows like what your whole training plan is and how you're feeling that day. And like you can text your coach. And I do this all the time. Like my coach lives in Europe and I'm here in California, but I still message him in the morning. I'm like, hey, I'm just not feeling that great. And he'll be like, okay, then let's adjust this, or let's like change the intervals this way. And that's like the very person to person kind of thing that I just don't think AI will necessarily get. It certainly doesn't get it right now. Like, I don't know. And just even the things that it says where it's like, oh, focus on perfect form, but also go all out. It's like, it's kind of just gathering things, I feel like, from the internet, and it's just kind of creating something.
Cramming them together. Like
this probably makes
this is
sense.
what a swim workout looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really does miss that element of coaching and really what makes a good swim workout. Where, like, as you're swimming, you can really see, like, the thought put into it. Like, oh, the coach who crafted this knew I was going to feel this way right now, and I'm being pushed in this direction. This is really working me out. This is really hard. With this, it's just, like, it's hard because of, like, the volume of it or, like, the speed you're going.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I think what I would change for this, and then the third part of the main set, because it's literally just like, so it says the 10-1s threshold, 850s fast, and then 3 200s at 70.3 pace/effort. So it says smooth aerobic pace, controlled efficient stroke, and then it says optional use paddles and buoy if needed to feel for the long swim. What is long swim?
That's what you're practicing for, the long
That
swim.
that long swim in a 70.3. Yeah. If needed for feel of long swim. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of an interesting point. Here's a workout that I've written for my athletes where it's kind of similar to this, but I think it's in a way that's a lot more fun and manageable, especially if you're swimming on your own, like a lot of age group athletes do. And even some pros, a lot of pros swim on their own too. I would do 250s fast, and then actually, yeah, I would do 250s fast. I would do 2 100s strong, and then 1 200 smooth. And then I would do that 3 times or 4 times, depending on what you have time for. Then you get a shift through the gears. You're hitting those different pace zones, and you're trying to hold on to that fast feeling. So you start with the fast because when you're swimming fast, you can find a lot of efficiency in that. And then you're trying to hold on to that as the distance gets longer. So like that's kind of what I would think would be a more beneficial set for this. Especially since we added those hundreds pulling at the end. So yeah, what do you think of that, Thomas? Two 50s, 2 100s, and then 1 200.
That's perfect because you're going to remember, like, oh, this is how I felt when I was going fast in that 200.
Yeah.
You're going to try to maintain that speed. You're going to feel the difference. Unlike here where it's just like, oh, I was going fast in that block, and now I'm not going as fast in this block. And you just don't remember the feeling of it.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's do that for the main set. I'll write it down. We'll do that 4 times. And I think that's 3 to 4, if you, depending on what you have time for. I'll write it all down in the show notes. You guys already know. The workout is in the show notes. You can screenshot it, take it to the pool, print it off. But yeah, so that's that's the whole main set. And then it's just 600 yards cool down. But we already said we're going to add as like a kind of bonus set, those 6 100s pull. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the cool down, it's 4x100 easy swim, mixed strokes. And then it says breathe every 3 or 5, which that's cool. But I mean, that's kind of like a long workout. I would maybe add those into the hundreds pulling, and you could even make those 200s. You could do like 5 200s pull, or 3, whatever you have time for, 3 to 5. And it says 450s drill swim by 25 at the end, which I typically don't do drills at the end. I feel like if you're doing them at the end, I don't know, it's like, to me, drills are something you should start your workout with, so you set yourself up with good technique, because the whole point of drills are it brings to your attention certain parts of your form. So at the end, it's like, oh, especially in warm down or cool down, yeah, that's just a little weird.
Yeah, I'm done when it gets to cool down. So it's like, yeah, drills are out of the question. It's
yeah, and you're not gonna you're just gonna rush through them. You're not gonna really focus.
I'm also not gonna do like a 600 warm down.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, even in club, I remember like our warm down is usually like 1250s, and it was just a drag to get through that.
Yeah. Sometimes that could be the hardest part of the set, and it's like, yeah, I like 200s warm down. Mm-hmm. So I just do 450s. Yeah, 450s. That's your warm down. And then at the end, let's just do 5 200s pull. And then I would say breathe every 3 or 5 is good. Or you can even alternate. So you could do like 1 breathe every 3, 1 breathe every 5, and then 7 if you want to challenge yourself. I think that would be good.
Ooh, breathe every 7.
Yeah. Or you could even do 2, 3, 5, 7 by 50. So there's a lot of options there. And that's the thing too. It's like, you could talk with your coach about that. And that's something like, AI will give you tips, but it's just kind of like, it doesn't know what you really need to work on unless you're like really telling it all this stuff. But sometimes you, as the swimmer, if you're developing, you don't even know what you need to work on. And so if you don't know it, AI only knows what you tell it. Whereas like a coach who watches you and sees you, it can give you a little more. So.
Yeah, we're just not at AI coaching yet.
Yeah.
And it's most of the time, it's like you can just think of a better workout. And then also we have the whole backlog of swim workouts you can just print out and swim. So it's not really necessary, in my opinion, yet.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, swim sets by the pool, that's the best place to get your swim workouts from, because we put a lot of thought and effort and time into these swim workouts, and we really try and make them engaging and give you different things to work on. We've talked about it before, this idea of the complete stroke and the complete swimmer. That's why you do different strokes and stuff. And this set, it mentioned a little bit of mixed strokes, but yeah, you should be throwing in some backstroke and some breaststroke in that warm up, and maybe even in the cool down, like doing a couple of those 50s backstroke is always going to feel really good. So yeah, if you want good swim workouts, just look at any of our past swim workouts in our episodes, and yeah, that'll help you out. But yeah, as far as this one goes, AI coaching, I just don't think it's there yet.
No, not yet.
What would you rate this workout from AI as it was written out of 10?
A B for basic out of 10. I would just say
B
5.
For basic, a 5?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not bad.
It just does the job, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's not as good as like a well thought out workout from a real person, I think. So yeah, 5 out of 10 from us. But anyways, that's pretty much the whole episode, you guys. Under 20 minutes, you can get to the pool, do our adjusted set, or you could do the set that AI wrote. We'll put that one in the show notes as well. And yeah, let us know how it goes. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want more content like this. And yeah, Thomas, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, it was great to be on.